Hey there, this is me. You might be wondering how I got myself in a sticky situation as a level 61 character having to do a level 110 on the beta. I got a couple different answers on the screen for you, and I'm gonna have you guys guess what happens to me next. It's either A, I die, B, I die horribly, or C, I die very, very horribly. Input your answers in the comment section right now. Now you might be wondering, like, what is going on? What is happening? So I was on a beta and I saw that low levels are running around and max levels are trying to gank them, but the low levels end up actually being competitive. It looks like something went wrong with the scaling technology. And first of all, I want to say this is beta. This is obviously not how I'm hoping the game comes out. This seems to be like a bug or something unintended. But for any reasons, if this is intended, we will talk about possible solutions to this issue. So yeah, if you are somebody who's low level, especially twinks, with like gear from old raids, and if you have set bonuses at work, maybe even trinkets at work, you can use trinkets, you can use guardian elixirs, you can use pots, you can use everything, pots, pans, spoons, knives, anything at your level, and you will actually be able to compete against max level players. Right now, if you go to beta and you go outside of Armory, chances are there's going to be a group of alliance, me maybe included just for the video purposes, there's going to be a group of alliance running around and trying to, and successfully, ganking a bunch of max levels. Well, the only way of these alliance characters that are level 60, 70, 80, 90, anything in between, the only way these guys are going to get destroyed if they accidentally aggro the guards besides Armory, or if you have enough people to actually be able to overpower them. Past that, you don't really stand a snowball's chance. We'll be hanging around outside of Armory, trying to see if as a level 61 rested druid, just how much damage I can do, just how much self-healing can I do. And the only way that we were actually getting driven back by the horde is if they were standing next to the NPCs that are level 120, that are still having some scaling, I guess, technology applied to them. So maybe us as lower levels don't have to burn through nearly as much health. But these guys are level 120, a lot of my abilities are gonna miss, and the only way that we actually died is from these NPCs. These NPCs actually have to go up and melee us, and or shoot bows at us. That's the only way we're actually taking any decent damage. Imagine a level 120 walking up to a level 60, you're popping off your big old, the weakest ability ever, and it actually tickles that level 61. What is going on? I'll be honest, this is actually kind of funny. Just out of all the betas that I've been to, I've never had a beta where level 61 characters can actually compete with level 120. I mean, it's baffling. I'm at a loss for words half the time, but my damage is actually doing something to these guys, and it's super crazy, it's super weird. I am almost 100% sure, and there's like a few percent that says no, not 100% sure, but I'm almost 100% sure that this is just unintended issues of the scaling technology. Of course, Blizzard wants a lot more people to be able to participate in PvP, and when it works between characters level 100 to 120, this system actually works pretty well. I like it when it's implemented between characters of similar levels, but it looks like it's going for any character of any level. A level 20 can be competitive with a max level. The only difference going to be is the amount of abilities, but the game is going to try to scale you to one another. How much damage they'll be dealing to you, how much damage you'll be dealing to them. So I guess to some extent, we can say say Blizzard, like this technology actually does work because you having it work across multiple levels. Now, at first I thought maybe I should just boost a level character or a copy a level 80 character over to the beta, because a bunch of people at level 80, 90, 101 are running around as twinks with as best gear as possible for their level. And I decided to go a little bit further, to go as far as level 60. Level 61 to be exact. Level 61 is one level after you enter the portal. This is one level after you finish leveling in vanilla zones, or at least unless you decide to go in the portal at level 58. But this is like vanilla character versus BFA characters, and a vanilla character has enough power, whether it be firepower or healing power, in my case be healing, to actually stand up toe to toe. This is weird because, first of all, we never expected something like this in the game. Never would I imagine that ganking would be reversed, where the guys that are low levels getting ganked by max levels are now able to fight back. That is the weirdest thing ever. And again, I hope this is unintended. But for whatever reason, if this is intended, this comes off with a couple different issues. And I don't want to be negative in this video. I don't want to talk about this is the worst thing ever, Blizzard is terrible, because I'm like 99.9997% sure that this is not intended. But for like 0.3% or whatever, if this is intended, I do have some issues. If this is intended, and this is going to be hypothetical, if Blizzard intends for this to happen, if this is how PvP is supposed to be, one, you're removing the whole idea and the need to level, and that seems weird, and that's one of the reasons why I don't think this is an actual system that will come into the game in the final release. You are removing the need to level. You can actually, for world PvP, you can just choose which level you like the most, level 60, level 70, level 80, take the gear and the trinkets and I guess the items from those levels, twink yourself to a certain extent, and now you can go out in the world with world PvP areas and actually compete against others. What's the point of having to level to max level then? Max levels should be able to take on lower levels, but there should be at least some sort of acceptable range. And I feel like if this is intended to be cross-platform, I don't think this will be good. If they are intended for this to be completely cross-platform, you're leveling in Elven Forest, a 120 sneaks up on you, should you be able to attack him? I don't think so. But if let's say you're leveling in vanilla zones, anywhere between level, well, once you get out of the new area, level maybe 10 to 60, those people in that bracket should be able to be competitive against each other. Because chances are, let's say you're going to Red Ridge Mountains, or you're going to Hillsbrad Foothills, and you're trying to level there as an alliance, and there's another player that is a horde player that's level 60. That guy can go to those zones as well, even though they're technically lower level zones. They scale to him, so every single bit of experience in that zone is still going to help him get a few more levels and a little bit few more experience within the area. Now, those guys should be able to compete because they're stuck in the same zone. Once you go past level 60 into 61, chances are you'll be upgrading to TBC area. If you're having to fight against people that are also in TBC area, or I guess Wrath at this point, anywhere between level 60 to 80, since those zones really do connect and link up together, there you should be able to have some sort of a advantage, or at least competitive, balance between players in a similar scaling zone, anywhere between TBC to Wrath of Lich King, anywhere between level 60 to 80, you should be able to competitive with those. Anybody of a lower bracket, you should be able to have easier time with, and everybody of the bracket above you should be almost a near impossible challenge, which continues the whole, hey, get to max level to get stronger without having to lock, well, what do you got at max level? Well, you can queue rated arenas. That's about it. I feel that it feels weird and throws off the whole balance of a World of Warcraft. I am fine with the system for BFA where, let's say you're leveling from anywhere between level 100 to 120. If somebody gets to 120, should they be able to completely obliterate you while you're leveling? It's not your fault that you're leveling and might be a little bit on the slower end, or maybe you had work and the other person decided to take time off. Should they be able to one-shot you? I don't think so. So I would say that scaling technology works on a smaller level when it comes to competitive nature of similar level kind of stuff. This is definitely weird, but it also kind of cool in some sense or another. You can just hop on any character, and as long as you're in a zone, you are not barred from entering any kind of PvP activity. So if there's a fight in the Barrens, every level character can go and participate. And while it feels weird, it feels different, it feels new and exciting and a little bit scary in more ways than one. And whenever I see something familiar, I usually just want to shun it away from me as far as possible and just go back to what I'm used to, go back to what I remember. This is definitely weird. I am pretty sure that this is not intended, this is just a bug, and I'm pretty sure this will get solved out. if for whatever reason this is intended, then I think it'll be hilarious. Anyway, I just want to showcase you guys in a video what the hell is going on in the beta, all the different bugs. I am super huge fan of the scaling technology, and I think some of the things they're doing for PvP, for World of Warcraft, especially for BFA, I feel like can make duels a lot more fun. I feel like can make World PvP a lot more fun. But ever since they allowed people to copy characters over, we never knew how these characters would react at lower levels, and I feel like this is great for the developers to see what's going on and find a way to fix it, or if this is intended, and just let them know that, hey, this is how the game is supposed to be played now. Get used to it, buddy. And I feel I guess there's a little bit of concern, and I'm not too concerned about the game, but there's slight concern in terms of the game is about to be released. It's about to go into pre-patch in about a month. It's about to be finally released to the public in about 2 months. The game is coming out very, very soon, and if we're seeing these kind of issues, and they're also working on all of the classes, there's a lot of bug fixes, there's some bugs that have been on the beta since the very beginning, I just get a little bit of that backseat concern of, are we getting this expansion a little bit too early? You know what I mean? I just wanted to come in perfect. So far it's been great, but I would love for it to, if it had to simmer for a week, a month later, but to come out perfect, I kind of sort of would be okay with this as well. Just wanted to get my thoughts on there. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, man, because this is definitely the weirdest beta thing that I've ever experienced, but also probably the most unique beta thing that I've ever experienced. So I'm pretty happy to be on the BFA beta, to be able to see stuff like this, and to be able to see how all this stuff functions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see all of you in another video.